Fred Macaulay, and welcome back to Scots on the Box, the quiz that celebrates 60 years of television in Scotland. Earlier this evening, in the first part of the show, I asked how many mans were in this Tune the Fat sketch.
Do you do Walkmans, man?
Walkmans, man. Tenor, man.
Do you play this, man?
No, that's a discman, man. You need the discman, man.
The Discman, man?
Aye, for playing your disc, man. What is that, discman?
Anchorman, man?
Anchorman's a movie, man. You need a DVD, man.
Oh, man, no Walkman, no Discman, man. Much for a DVD, man, man?
Ton, man.
Ton, man. You're a highwayman, man.
If you're playing along at home and got 29, well, you'd still be wrong, as there were two more mans than you probably thought. Greg Hempel and Ford Kiernan, of course. In this show, I'll be unearthing lots more great moments like that from our nation's TV archives and using them to test my panellists' knowledge of all things Scottish on the Box. So let's meet the teams. Our first team captain is an actress with a gift for mimicry. I must say her Ronnie Ancona is very convincing. With her, actor Alex Norton and comedian Mark Nelson. Welcome them all. Our other team captain has a first-class honours degree in mathematics, which must come in handy when working behind the counter in still game. He can accurately count the wasted years. It's comic actor Sanjeev Kohli. And with him, comedian Susan Calman and archaeologist and historian Neil Oliver. It's time to find out which team deserves to be monarch of the Glen and which deserves to be humanely culled and made into sausages. Let's play a round called Hit the Telly. This may look like an old broken-down TV, but our BBC engineers have worked their magic and it now holds the entire 60 years of archived Scottish broadcasting. At my panellists' request, I'll hit the telly and it'll play a random snippet from a show from the last 6 decades, which I'll then quiz my guests on. Ronnie's team, you're going first. Tell me when to hit it.
Go on, now.
Do you have a name, by the way? Or don't angels have names?
Oh, of course we've got names.
Seraphim. Cherubim. Gabriel. Oh. What's yours?
Bobby.
That was the late, great Gerard Kelly with his pal Billy Connolly from the 1988 Christmas special of BBC Scotland series City Lights. Bobby, of course, one of the funniest words in the Scottish vocabulary. Gerard Kelly played Willie Melvin, a bank clerk at the Strathclyde Savings Bank, but can you tell me, what was his dream job?
Was he not aspiring to have a really respectable vocation, like a journalist?
He wanted to be a writer,
he wanted to be a writer. He wanted to be a novelist, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He wanted to do a novel about...
Oh, I know what it was.
Do you know what I mean?
It was called something like My Life Up Close or something, wasn't it?
Ronnie and Alex, well done. He did. He had dreams of being a novelist, and most of the episodes revolved around him trying to get his autobiographical book, My Childhood Up Close, published. Bang on the money, Alex Norton. Well done.
Thank you.
Sanjeev's team, tell me when to hit the telly.
Chip it with your hand now.
Furtive. That's the word I'd use, furtive. Para's been furtive since we left Inverary. Aye, furtive, that's the word.
Team Sanjeev, that was The Vital Spark, written by Neil Munro and broadcast by the BBC in 1966. You saw the wonderful John Grieve playing Dan McPhail, the book-loving engineer on the Clyde Puffer, The Vital Spark. You would also have noticed that we pixelated the book he was holding. Can you take a guess what he was reading?
Well, it was pixelated, so clearly an adult publication, and he's saying the word furtive over and over again, so I think it's a sexy thesaurus.
A sexy
Thesaurus featuring...
Easy for you to see.
It's featuring lager lovelies in states of undress, saying posh words.
Yeah. 50 Shades of Battleship Grey.
It was always something seamy. We always read seamy novels. It was something like, you know, I was held hostage by sex-starved vixens. A true story.
Well, I'm surprised none of you got it. Let's have a look. It was Lady Cynthia sins again.
Oh,
Of course it was.
Who hasn't read that?
Yeah.
Not nearly as racy as it sounds. It's about a member of the House of Lords who falsifies her expenses. On to Ronnie's team. Say when.
Oh, right. OK, now. Why not?
Did you really feel all the time that you had what it takes?
I thought I was terrific. I really did. I thought I was absolutely great.
Everybody knows Marie MacDonald McLaughlin Laurie Gibb. She's been called variously gravel-throated, raucous, cheeky, shattering and vivacious, bouncy, a bundle of talent, a great star. The butcher's daughter from Denison is now 22, one of the richest girls in Britain, and for the last 8 years she's been, in every sense, a Lulu.
A Lulu.
Does anybody know exactly what a Lulu is?
Yeah. Is it not a term that somebody from Morningside, a lady from Morningside, would call her private parts? Cameron, if you take it with that attitude, you'll be going nowhere near my Lulu tonight.
I think it comes... There was a very popular song in the 1920s called Hullabalulu, Don't Bring Lulu. So I think she might have taken it from that. The idea being that, you know, Lulu is a bit of a kind of fizzy, you know, all about town sort of girl.
But logically, a Lulu should be a double toilet, shouldn't it? Like a tandem toilet. Because you know, like women go into toilet in pairs, and I don't really know what they're doing. And
Just
I think.
talking about boys and stuff, Sam.
But is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
but
just talking about boys and stuff.
But do you have the partition? So if
No,
you,
we take that away. That's just there when men go in.
so then it becomes a Lulu.
Yeah, if you go into a ladies' toilets and you're not, if you're a woman, there's no walls.
No
Yeah.
walls.
There's no toilets, actually. It's just a sofa.
According to the Cambridge Dictionary, it is now something extremely good or extremely bad, and you can't criticise that. The next clip is for Sanjeev's team. Tell me when to hit the telly.
Now.
But first, let's find out what the weather's up to over the next few days.
This afternoon it'll be cold, wet and windy across most of Scotland. We're under the influence of low pressure, and this weather front pushing northwards is bringing cloud and outbreaks of rain.
So, simple question, who was that man?
Well, I have actually spoken to Sally Magnuson about that, and she said that he was genuinely nervous about addressing the nation, doing the weather. And her advice to him was, don't think of the whole nation watching you, just one plant.
It was Prince Charles in May 2012 presenting the weather from Glasgow. He was introduced, as Sanjeev said, by Sally Magnuson, who has recently written a book which may have raised a few eyebrows. What was it about, Sanjeev's team?
I'm not sure. Was it racy? Was it controversial?
Not particularly, no.
Not so. If
the
it,
subject
right, okay.
matter.
Well, let's look at this logically. If it's about the raises eyebrows and it's not racy, what else could it be? Controversial politically? Did she reveal herself to be a communist?
No.
Right, that's out the question.
That's public knowledge.
Next one. She has been reading out the wrong news now for 15 years.
I'm sorry, Susan, you're very close. That was Sally McNair. Sally's book is The Life of P, the story of how urine got everywhere.
What?
I thought only men knew that.
Prince Charles did a reasonable job presenting the weather as an amateur, but let's have a look at how a real pro might have done it.
Well, it's been a funny kind of a day today. As you can see, there's been absolutely no weather at all.
It's never quite Hogmanay without Ricky Fulton and Scotch and Rye, so now it's Hogmanay. Checking the scores, I see that it's a close call, but Sanjeev's team are just like Dougie Donnelly's hair, perfectly placed. This next round is called Who Is It? In this round we ask some, let's just say, more mature viewers to comment on their favourite Scottish TV icons. Sanjeev, all you and your team have to do is work out who they're talking about, and it's not as easy as you think.
I like your voice. Your body's nae bad. I could do the clothes I could work with.
There's just yodelly,
You know, and
a Dallas Glasgow boy.
and he's wearing a white rhinestone cowboy outfit.
It'd be nicer if he didn't wear white, because white is a disgusting colour for men to wear at the best of times.
I don't know why it was called that.
I don't know.
As you say,
either.
except because it was
No.
rhyming slang.
Slang,
wasn't it?
aye, rhyming slang.
No, it's quite obvious. Yodeling,
Yeah.
women swooning,
Yeah.
Iggy Pop.
It's clearly one of our greatest musical heroes.
It is.
Sydney Devine.
Sydney Devine, you reckon? Let's have a look.
Very soon you'll know just where you are. Come on dance, come on dance. With the eyes of love, you'll see 1,000 stars. Oh, when you dance, dance to my tin guitar.
That was worth a round of applause indeed. From Divine Country, broadcast by STV in 1979. He's known as Steak and Kidney, but can anyone come up with any other television celebrity food nicknames?
Fred McCauliflower cheese.
Hey!
I'll do that.
Excellent. Sanjeev Coca-Cola. Sausage and Mashley Jensen. David Tennant's Lager.
You're on fire.
Did anyone else
Piccola Benedetti. Scone Connery. Billy Sconnelly. Flan and Anna.
It's no wonder Miss Falkirk fell for you.
You see, I've got all the patterns.
I've only got one. I need a Dobston scone. Oh, come on!
Shandy Murray.
Stop it! Somebody stop it! He's like a machine!
Brandy Alexander Brothers. Andy Murray Mints. So easy.
That's brilliant. You're watching Neil Oliver Pun. Anybody
Neil
remember?
Oliver liver and onions.
See if there's a switch.
I'm looking for it.
Macaroni Ancona.
Man's a genius. There's got to be more coming. We just know it.
Sanjeev Cauliflower cheese.
You've overdone the cauliflower cheese.
It's easily done.
Frankie boiled potatoes. Frankie boiled rice.
None of us know what's just happened in the studio, okay? Something's just happened to Neil. He's going to be okay. We're going to get help. But if
right.
you've been affected by any of the issues, please phone the BBC for help.
Ronnie's team, we've got more of our mature viewers for you. Can you work out which Scottish telly icon they're talking about?
He had that kind of a brawling Scottish pie face, if you know what I mean.
Didn't look at somebody you would really love to say, why wouldn't I mind spending a night with him?
When he sang, it was his movement when he sang, you know. Yeah. I just flew in from the Isle of Skye. I'm the very weak and the mouthy shy. Go back, Donald, where's your trousers?
I can see all the tumblers falling into place there, Alex.
Yes.
Go on, Alex, do a C on us.
It's the great Andy Stewart.
Great.
It was indeed the great Andy Stewart. And can I just acknowledge that some of the ladies that were in the clip are actually in the audience with us. Thank you very much indeed, ladies, in the third row. Lovely to see you. A lot of people's favourite Andy Stewart. We can actually have a wee look at him in action.
Just come down from the Isle of Skye. I'm no very big and I'm awful shy. And the lassies shout when I go by, Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind go high, let the wind go. Through the streets in Makilda I'll go. All the lassies say hello, Donald, where's your trousers?
That was indeed Andy Stewart singing, of course, the self-penned Donald, Where's Your Trousers from the White Heather Club in 1960. Apparently, it only took Andy 10 minutes to write the song, but can you tell me, anyone, exactly where he wrote it?
Yes.
We can't talk about the White Heather Club. First rule of White Heather Club, you don't talk about White Heather Club.
Oh, I know. He wrote it in London.
No, it was more specific than that. He wrote it with his trousers round his ankles on a toilet. An interesting songwriting technique that also saw him pen the less well-known songs Donald, I'd give it 5 minutes if I were you. And also, Donald, that's a higher kilt. You'll not get your deposit back now. At the end of that round, our two teams are as difficult to separate as Rab C. Nesbitt is from his string best. Now it's time for What Happens Next. I'll play a clip from the archive that's dustier than STV's award cabinet these days. I'll press pause and I want our teams to tell me what happened next. Sanjeev's team, have a look at this.
What's this? The Boy Scout Jamboree. The last person that did that near me
was the moderator of the Church of Scotland.
I'm going to ask you what happened to the last person who spat at Taggart, and no clues from you, Alex.
He was a no-nonsense fella, Taggart, wasn't
there was very little nonsense.
Yeah.
Yep.
The last person that did that is now playing Ebenezer at the Kings. Or is eating soup through a straw. It's one of those ones, isn't it?
The latter is closer. Let's find out.
The last person that did that near me wore his balls head for earrings.
That was, of course, Chief Inspector Jim Taggart in 1986 from STV's long-running drama, played by the much-missed Mark McManus. In the 11 years that Mark McManus played the character, he never once said, "There's been a murder." Do you not think, though, I mean, if he did put your balls on your ears, that once you were on your way home, you'd probably take them off? I don't think you'd go all the way home with balls for earrings.
I think what you're trying to say, you wouldn't meander back in home and go, "Do you like these?" I'm not sure.
Oh, never mind. Oh, there we are.
Sanjeev's team, on which popular children's show did Mark McManus begin his television career?
We know this one. We'll just Skippy. No.
Oh, of course.
Skippy the Bush Kangaroo.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. When living in Australia, Mark played Ted, a shearer, in the 1968 episode of Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, and we can have a wee look.
Thought you said nobody could find us here. A kid and a kangaroo. That's all we need.
What would an Australian Taggart have sounded like?
There's been a murder.
That's New Zealand.
No. Oh, sorry. There's been a murder.
That's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I right in thinking that Mark McManus's brother was the lead singer of The Sweet?
Half-brother.
Absolutely right. No, The Sweet.
That was great.
There was once a terrible incident on the set of the Australian Broadcasting Corporation when Skippy spat at Mark McManus. Who knew Skippy's balls were so shiny? Ronnie's team next. Here are the inseparable Alexander brothers from the 1960s advert for the late lamented Scottish off-licence Agnew's.
Must have cost you a fortune.
No. Where'd you buy it all? Agnew's, much cheaper. Most of Agnew's whiskies are still at last year's prices. Help yourself. Don't play the piano.
So, why is Jack asking Tom not to play the piano? Or maybe it's Tom asking Jack. I don't think even their wives know which is which.
It's good to see what Jedward will look like in 40 years, isn't it?
I thought he was just saying, don't play the piano. The other one says, why? He says, just don't.
Because you're not good at it.
Have you heard yourself playing piano? No, because I think they hid the whiskey in the piano.
In the piano. Well, let's have a look and see why.
Don't play the piano. I'm hiding my whiskey in there. Yes, it's far cheaper at Agnew's. This is almost like a commercial for Agnew's stores.
The Alexander brothers there, right enough, doing nothing for the Scottish stereotype. The only ones at a party wearing kilts, boasting about buying cheap booze, and being so tight they hide it from their guests in a piano. This next clip is for Team Sanjeev. It's an extract from Reporting Scotland with Ken Bryson, telling us about one of the most important moments in Scotland's very proud history.
It's just a few minutes after 12:30 and business is brisk in this pub in Bannockburn near Stirling. Nothing unusual, you may think, but this is history in the making. Why?
And no, I wasn't just about to buy a round. Why do you think this was history in the making?
I think one of the most significant things that could have happened in that pub was a woman being allowed in. Because there's some guys with perms, but there's no women.
It looks like a Jockey Wilson look-alike contest.
Let's find out.
Because it's Sunday, and up until now, pubs in Scotland have not been allowed to open on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. After the Licensing Scotland Act of 1976 was introduced, it wasn't until 1977 that we could have a drink on a Sunday. And, Susan, you were very close. Men-only bars were also abolished that year. Sunday viewing on television. Do you remember Scots Praise, any of you?
Scots Praise?
Yes, Scots Praise.
There's no such thing as praise in Scotland.
Let's have a look at a clip from Scots Praise, broadcast by BBC Scotland in 1977. In particular, I want you to listen carefully to what the minister says to the wee boy.
Hello. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
And a Happy New Year. And to you too. And how's your hangover? Welcome to our nice to see you.
That was the splendidly named Very Reverend Dr. William B. Johnson inquiring of the young boy's hangover. Perhaps the communion wine should have been kept on a higher shelf. Ronnie's team, it's time for the next clip, and we're about to see some very excitable young ladies who are going to be looking for their heroes in the flesh.
They began queuing first thing this morning. By midday, the police estimated well over 1,000 teenagers spilling outside the barriers along Glasgow's Union Street.
The lead singer. I am. He's beautiful. He's got a lovely smile. He's got a lovely smile and he's beautiful. He's beautiful.
He's beautiful. Who do we think they were getting excited about?
Greg's, the bakery owner.
Yeah, Greg was going to be there in person. I think they were queuing up to meet him, get his autograph. No, I think was it Jimmy Shan's final farewell concert at the Apollo?
Was that the queue to get into an Alexander Brothers party?
In their dreams, yeah.
There's only one person I think is that beautiful, and that's Marty Pellow from
Marty Pellow, you reckon? Let's find out.
Marty Pellow looks today, is it right?
Like the record store, fever pitch was reached as the Wets, as they're known to their fans, made their first appearance of the day. In a quieter moment below stairs, the band told me how they felt about their newfound success.
Basically, when your clothes start being stole off the washing line, you know that there's something strange happening.
I hate to tell you, Marty, but you don't need to be famous to have your clothes stole off the line in Clydebank. Or stolen. That's right, it was Wet, Wet, Wet from a report by Louise Batchelor on Reporting Scotland in 1987. Original member Tommy Cunningham said it was either crime, the dole or music, and the jury is still out on which they chose. As the bells draw nearer, fittingly, our last round is called First Footing, where we raid the archive to find the earliest television appearances of some of our biggest TV stars. Team Ronnie, here's a young David Tennant on Dramarama called The Secret of Croft Moor, made by STV in 1988.
Still waiting for the council to tarmac the road, eh? You remember these two?
I do, of course. How are you both?
Very well, thank you, Aunt Jean.
Any suggestions on David's first line?
He's definitely saying, very soon I'm going to be too famous to talk to any of you.
Is he saying I haven't decided whether to become David Tennant or Tilda Swinton?
It could have gone either way there at that point.
At that
It could
point,
have
I
gone
think
either
there's
way.
a crossroads,
Yeah.
Let's find out what he actually said.
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, brother. And the Scottish BAFTA goes to David Tennant, proving there the old acting adage, less is less. For Sanjeev's team, slightly different. This is The Big Break on STV, a talent show from 1988. Who do you think is about to perform?
Let's now meet our first contestant. She's only 14 years of age and she comes from Anstruther in Fife.
Yeah. So, who might that be?
Well, see, the giveaway is there's only ever been one famous person from Anstruther,
Yeah.
so the answer is Robert Mugabe.
Yes. I genuinely know the answers. I'm not going to beat around the bush because I'm proud that I know this, because this is a woman I admire deeply. And it's Edith Bowman. It's
Edith Bowman, you reckon? Well, let's find out soon.
A goddess on a mountain top was burning like a silver flame. The summit of beauty and love, and Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it.
It is indeed Edith Bowman, and not only has she got it, there seems to be no known cure, and it's attacking her central nervous system. How Susan, how did you first come across that?
I remember someone sent me the link once because she's a wonderful and quite glamorous lady, I would say, and very cool. And the fact that she, like most of us, has an embarrassing past in the 1980s where we dressed like that in puffball skirts and tried to kind of be in a talent show. I thought it was lovely.
I've never worn a puffball skirt in my life.
Yet.
Yeah.
Semolina Zavaroni.
Ronnie's team, another dramarama here, this time called The Macramé Man, made in 1988 by STV. Unfortunately, it wasn't the largest of roles, and the appearance is a bit fleeting, but I want to know if you can tell me who plays the lad running away.
Right, I've caught you out now. I'm phoning the paper shop to report you.
You wouldn't dare.
You just see if I will, you cheeky mitten.
Is he running away from fear of that perm?
Is it Stephen Hawking?
There is the still from 1988.
Is that a proclaimer?
Often mistaken for one.
Frankie Boyle. It's not Frankie.
Frankie Boyle. Frankie Boyle it is indeed. Of course, Frankie Boyle, whose first words on TV were, "You wouldn't dare." A line he's used many times in comedy clubs ever since. Sanjeev's team, we've got a beautiful tune from STV's A Touch of Music for you, a showcase for young musical talent in Scotland. From 1987, this is presented by Kay Duncan.
Ewan's been playing the horn since he was 9. He also plays the drums in the school pipe band and the electric and acoustic guitar.
If I may...
If you may...
If I may, Ewan Big Mac Gregor.
You're absolutely right. It was indeed Ewan McGregor. What I want to know, though, is what was the tune?
I would say Mozart or Beethoven or
Strawberry Switchblade.
or Strawberry Switchblade or one of the above, or someone German or Austrian or French. Am I nearly there, Fred?
You're getting warmer all the time.
Italian. British?
No. It's
Irish.
European.
I think it was Mozart.
You think it was Mozart? It was indeed Mozart's Horn Concerto No. 4 in E flat major.
Whoa.
Not that Ewan knew. In the film Brastoff, Ewan plays the horn note perfectly, which, after watching that performance, proves what a brilliant actor he is. And on that note, we find ourselves at the end of our celebrations of Scots on the Box. Our two teams have both demonstrated outstanding knowledge of their TV heritage, but, like an episode of Still Game, there can only be one victor. And tonight's winners are... Team Sanjeev! Sanjeev, there is your magnificent Scots in the Box trophy. A huge thank you to all my guests, Ronnie, Alex and Mark, and Sanjeev, Susan and Neil Oliver Oil. Thank you at home for watching. Do stay tuned to BBC Scotland all the way through to the bells and beyond. On behalf of everyone here in the studio, I'll take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy new year. Good night.
Only an Excuse is up next, and don't miss classic comedy voted by you tonight here on BBC One Scotland. Chewing the Fat is at midnight.
Jackie Bird's custard.